by the way, 1v1s are absolutely
Cancer?
tilting.
Oh, okay.
Dude, like I was 1v1ing this guy, and every fucking time I would miss him or he would hit me, he would do the haha emote. Oh my god, it was making me so mad.
I didn't know you could do that. I
Yeah,
think the one
I
I
didn't
have is
either.
woohoo,
Yeah,
woohoo.
same.
I think
I
that's the
started doing
default one.
that back at him, but it wasn't as tilting. Welcome to this week's episode of Where's My Invite with Billy and Joe. Thanks for listening. So, to start, Billy introduced me to a new game called Knockout City. I don't know how new it is. How new is it?
It literally came out this week, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, did it?
Yes. It came
Let me go
out
to
on
the
Monday,
store
I think.
page.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah, 21st.
Good heavens,
Okay.
let's not be wrong on our podcast.
No, we have a duty to our listeners to be factually accurate.
Okay.
So it did just drop May 21st. Such a fun game. I'm very hesitant about Billy's suggestions for games like Mordhau,
Why? Wow.
Black Wake.
You liked Black Wake.
I did the first time we played it.
Yes.
And then it got same with Mordhau. I liked it the first time we played it. And then both games got very old very quick.
All these games suffer from these multiplayer games. Is what happens is the game is really fun when the community is all noobs. So you have I'm trying to recommend these games quickly. Mordhau was as quick as I could, and then Black Wake has been an old game for a long time on its last legs for a long time. So that one makes sense. But Mordhau, for example, is like Knockout City. There's so many noobs that it's so fun to play, and you can constantly, shit on these noobs. They're just so bad, and you're bad too. And like the thing about these games is once people start to figure it out, it's dead. It's like it's so terrible to play because all the noobs leave because they're noobs and they can't do anything. Which so I wanted to bring up a different topic, but we can segue into that. Do you want to keep talking about Knockout City?
Well, we barely fucking touched Knockout City.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know yet, Knockout City is a dodgeball game, which sounds silly.
Right.
And it is.
It's true.
But it's so much fun.
It has some of the worst, the least helpful character creation. Everyone always ends up as the same guy. Everyone always has the leather jacket, which
greaser type guy.
Yeah, Joe and I both play as that guy.
Yeah.
I
changed my hair. That's all I've changed so far.
I think I changed into that guy. I became that guy. So I played during the beta, and the gameplay is pretty similar anyway. And it was a lot of fun, but I didn't find it was super in depth. But playing it again, like a noob again, I played with Jerry and Kevin. Shout out to Jerry and Kevin. We played it one night, and we just played for about 2-3 hours straight up. And it was just so much fun because every time we would get a new map and there would be a different kind of ball. And so sort of the twists are the basic gameplay mechanic is it's a 3v3 knockout usually. And there's just normal dodgeballs, and you can just sometimes you can spin them, you can fake a throw, and you can, dash and tackle people. And if you get hit twice with a dodgeball, you're dead. And that's sort of the basic mechanic of it. Yeah. And it's really well done in a lot of places. It's a lot of fun, very satisfying to score elims on people. And then you can get really crazy with some of the mechanics, but
which people do in 1v1s.
Do they?
Oh my god. It's so tilting in 1v1s. And since this just released, here's my plan.
Okay.
All the pros of every scene have always started when the game first launches.
Mm.
So what I'm gonna do,
You're trying to go pro.
I, well, no, hold on. In
Okay.
Rocket League, I got off to a bad start. One, because I was playing with you.
Are you kidding
Uh,
me? Stop.
two,
Retract that.
two,
Retract right
no,
now. As if.
two.
As if. As
Uh,
if. That
like
is a false claim.
because I was always playing with friends, I couldn't handle the tilting trash talking in like solo queuing.
That's just you have a weak mental.
Uh, it's just because I get so fucking mad at people being dicks for no reason. And I always try to be really nice to people in online games. And then
That's
they're
true.
like, "You're fucking trash." I'm like, "Okay, you know what?" And I jump,
You
I
escalate very
I
quickly.
jump from 1 to 10 immediately, and I've gotten banned so many times for that. But I was playing solo queue today in Knockout,
Hmm.
and I actually in a couple games I had some really good teammates. We were passing, we
Oh.
were rolling up for each other, all that shit, and we dominated, like absolutely dominated. And so, and I like that there's not really a chat aspect, you know. Like I think there's voice chat, I
Oh,
think,
there is, yeah. But there's
yeah,
no cross team chat.
but I have that shit turned off,
Okay.
and so they can't fucking talk to me if they wanted to. But I'm doing that now, starting off playing solo queue so I can get used to it. Uh, and then I'm by the time that the mechanics change and people start figuring out new shit,
What?
I'm gonna be up there at the top with them.
You're gonna be in diamond, is what you're saying.
What I don't even know the ranking system.
I don't. I think there's a ruby actually, and like an
Knockout City
emerald.
ranking system. All right, let's look at the ranks real quick because I'll tell you what I'm going to be. Okay, there's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, sapphire, emerald, and ruby, which is pretty standard.
Say it again one more time.
Bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond. That's normal for most games. And then it goes sapphire, emerald, and ruby.
So ruby is top actually.
Ruby is top.
Okay.
And
I'm a ruby knockout city player actually. It's
in
higher than emerald, idiot.
in compared to Rocket League, sapphire would be champ, emerald would be grand champ, and then ruby would be supersonic legend. So I'm gonna be supersonic legend in knockout. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I'm gonna
trying to say.
be a ruby player. Okay.
Because what didn't the ranks? Didn't it just start with ranks like
It
yesterday?
literally. So Joe just downloaded the game yesterday, and
Yeah,
they literally just released ranked
right.
yesterday.
And so I have no doubt I'm going to be placed in bronze. But if I can get Merc in there and Trey,
uh, hello.
what are you actually going to play?
I've been begging people to play this game.
Okay,
Tell me I'm
all
wrong.
right,
Tell me I'm wrong.
all right.
I've been trying.
Me and you will hit
Look at the
Ruby,
tape.
Billy.
I'm
Merc, I
ready
don't
to
think
be
Merc's
ranked.
down to, and so we just need to get Trey
I
because
have a few
Merc's
people in my
really busy
Discord.
right now. So
Yeah, fair enough. Merc
yeah,
gets
but
a
I mean,
pass.
people who don't play other games, everyone
What do
in
you
your
mean?
Discord is like, I'm gonna play uh Hello Kitty World tonight or some shit.
What the fuck are you talking
Whereas
about?
Trey is always down to play with us. So
Yeah, but you say that, and he still hasn't gotten Knockout City.
he will.
Well, now that I've coerced you, now that you people finally listen to me and my game suggestions,
Yeah, I mean you're 2 for 2 in ball related games. Uh 3 for 5 in other games you've recommended.
as an overall, yeah. So I want to get into sort of now that the game is in its infancy, and it's really fun because as soon as you discover a new mechanic in the game, you immediately use it. Or if someone else like uses uh, what feels like abuses a mechanic in the game, and they use it on you. What's really fun is so we would play a game, right? and we would get a new map, and then we'd get a different like kind of ball. And if we lose, it's always like, oh, it's a new ball. We're getting used to the new ball. Oh, it's a different. It's not our map. It's not our map, which is a lot of fun to me because we're not taking the losses so seriously.
Right.
So if you're going into ranked, it's a bit more painful because, like, dude, you should have fucking thrown the pumpernickel ball at this guy, and he wouldn't have been able to 360 no scope radius radio play that, and then we could have done an into the bomb play over the shoulder behind the back, you know. And that's what I'm worried about. But right now, it's so much fun because everyone is noobs again, and it reminds me of Christmas Noobs. So you don't know what that is, do you, Joe?
No, I do not.
So Christmas Noobs. I was a big Xbox. I've always been Xbox instead of PlayStation. Always had the Xbox instead of a PlayStation. And of course, the big game is Call of Duty, right? And Call of Duty always releases about a month or two before Christmas. And what you would do is you would get the game upon release. So, say November, October, wherever in that fall. Excuse me. And you would play the game for a bit, and then like all Call of Duties, it gets a bit stale, right? Everyone figures out the best guns, everyone's unlocked, everyone's prestige, but then a glorious, glorious thing happens. It's Christmas Day, and everyone gets the new Call of Duty game, and then you get not only do you get your presents on Christmas, you get the presents of Christmas noobs flocking into your game, flooding your lobbies. And then it's fun all over again because you're just going crazy on all these noobs.
So Christmas noobs are just the guys who get it for Christmas and start playing after that.
Yes, so but it's sort of a repeat of the upon launch, no one having any idea what's good. But this time you know what's good because you've been playing since before Christmas, and you're just racking up free stats, free kills, free whatever. And it's just constant. It's so much fun until they also immediately copy you with whatever, like your loadout and your kill streaks and whatnot. So Knockout City, of course, it's released in late May. We're gonna have to wait for the summer noobs once all the high schoolers and middle schoolers get off of classes to destroy them.
Right. So what you're saying is whenever that happens, easy ranks.
Oh yeah. We wanna you can flood you can play ranked right now, which is not a bad time to play it. But of course there's all the sweats. But if you wait too long, everyone's gonna figure out the sweats' strategies, right?
Right.
So the idea is lose to the sweaters right now and then climb just take every strategy they have. Or if you're an innovator, you come up with your own strategies and like your own ridiculous things to do.
Right. Yeah. See, that's why I'm glad I had my foot in the door early because I'm getting all this shit now, and whenever this free trial ends, a lot of people are going to quit.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
It's going to die for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But it's just released, and I see a lot of big streamers playing it right now.
I saw a couple. I didn't see too many.
And I don't think that it's going to be like Among Us or Fall Guys because those are very much party games. You know what I mean? And I think party games are the ones that always die off really quickly. Not saying that this won't die off to some degree because it definitely will after the free to play is over. But I think it'll pick back up, and then we're going to be at the top of the food chain.
Speaking
just
of Fall
shitting
Guys,
on these Christmas noobs.
Fall Guys has been a lot of fun recently.
Dead game.
I've picked it up, and you can believe me on this because you should believe me based off of Knockout City. Fall Guys has this new mode. Well, I don't know how new it is because I was one of those people that got it at first and then dropped it off for I don't know, 2 or 3 seasons. I think right now it's season 4.5. Right?
How are there seasons in this?
Okay.
Is it even competitive?
I don't know I don't think there's a ranking system or anything. I
I mean,
think
it's obviously competitive, but
yeah, you're trying to win, but I mean, there's no ladder. There's no like, oh my god, I'm in the diamond Fall Guys lobby. No, there's nothing like that. My understanding, but I don't know when they released it. They came out with this squad mode, so you can play with you could play with friends and queue up with friends before, but if you lose, you're not immediately out, or like you could get a bad spawn and like be the last person across the finish line, right?
right,
But in the squads, it sort of averages out anyway. But you compete as four, and so like if you're the first person to qualify, you would get like 60 points, and then the second place would get 59, and so on. And so it's usually at first it's usually the team. There's a minimum cutoff, like the top 8 teams will pass, and then it's a really really well done. Um, I wish they had it upon release because it would have been even better. So Fall Guys has now become way more fun for me, especially because you get to add the aspect of, hey, I finished this map first. Fuck it, Joe. You can't get past the roly poly. You can't. You just die to the like a fan or something because it's like a little children's game. Um, and so that part is also a lot of fun. Um, Watching your teammates die, and then
so
of course you can complain about randoms too.
there are actually people who still play Fall Guys. Is that what you're telling me?
I've picked it back up, and it's been a lot of fun. I think you would enjoy it too,
I no, I
unless you
barely
suck at the
enjoyed
game.
it. I barely enjoyed it the first time.
Do you suck at the game? Or are you not good?
I mean, I've almost won a couple. Actually, I did win a couple times,
Okay.
uh, but it's just not fun. Like I don't. It's just like a little kid, a battle royale for like 5-year-olds.
For me, the least fun part was getting eliminated, and then you're queuing with someone, and then they're still in, or they get eliminated, and you're still in. It's like, well, do I leave out of courtesy to them, or do I like stay? And then you have to spectate, which sucks. But that
Right.
it's fixed in the squad mode because even if I die early and they qualify, I respawn the next round. Like I'm a part of the next round on the team, which is really really good, and that fixes most of the issues for me. So like you still get some of there's some smaller problems from Fall Guys, which is like if you don't get to the later rounds enough, you have no idea how to play the game, and then you'll just get all these sweaters who know how to play the game. And like there's this basketball game mode at the end, like the championship round, and we didn't know how to like pick up the ball. It's just so painful.
Yeah. See, it's just a trash game.
It's good.
I genuinely. It's about on the same level as Overwatch for me.
Well, you don't like Overwatch either.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't like either game. I fucking hate them both for different reasons, but I hate them both. It's just
Why don't
on
you
the
like
same level.
Overwatch? Why don't you air your grievances out again?
I don't like. I've never been one for first person shooters
Mm-hmm.
unless it's like an RPG
Okay.
like Fallout
Mm-hmm.
where it's just first person. Uh, I've never been one for first person shooters really. I can't really get into Apex or Call of Duty. I play them sometimes, but I just can't really get into them. I think what did me over on Overwatch though was being on the Overwatch team and having to play it all the fucking time, and I just got so fucking tired of it. And now I despise it. If I wasn't on the team, and I just played it occasionally for fun, it would probably be on the level of Call of Duty or Apex. But it's not because I was basically forced to fucking play it
I
for
think you
two
got
years.
hosed in that because you had to play DPS, which is the highest skill cap role. There's at least twice as many heroes to learn and understand, and if your team doesn't help you out in any way, you can just get really screwed. Um, because you can't necessarily directly counter um, DPS heroes with another DPS hero. Like the counter is to kill them faster, and if
Right.
you're dying to them already, that's not working right now. Whereas like if a tank is being countered, you just switch there's sort of a rock paper scissors with tanks. So I think you got hosed because you had to be our DPS player, because we had to hide other players on different roles as well.
Yeah, I just don't think I would have liked deep or tanking or healing either because after you left, I tried tanking and healing, and I just
Mm.
hated those.
Mm. I didn't know that. I
Yeah, I
thought
mean, like I think
healer is probably the easiest role to play in Overwatch and like the most satisfying,
I
I would say.
think Blizzard makes great games. I think that they are an excellent game developing company. Not maybe their practices in the development. I've heard that they're kind of shitty to their developers.
Hmm.
I don't have any evidence to back that up, so take it as you will. But and I love World of Warcraft. It's such a well polished MMO. Like it's the most polished MMO, I think. Way better than any others that I've played. And I haven't played a whole lot, but like RuneScape, that Star Wars MMO.
Mm.
What's that one your friend plays? Final Fantasy. I only played that briefly.
Okay.
And some other one I'm forgetting. And World of Warcraft is just the most polished and the most clean. So good. And it's a classic.
Well, it's an old ass game. It's like 20 something years old at this point.
Something like that.
Um, so they've definitely had that advantage. So this is an interesting thing. So we were talking earlier about how how difficult it is. So I've been trying for the past week to get people to play this game, and Joe finally, just yesterday, Joe caved and got the game, and now of course Joe loves it and is trying to be a ranked pro, right?
Mhm.
By your own admission.
I just got to get ranked first. I'll worry about the
Okay.
pro part later.
Okay. Yeah. If you get a high rank, then you can become a pro.
Right.
If
But
yeah.
but you have to be basically you have to have your foot in the door at the very beginning.
Mm.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's true. It's true.
So
You
I,
have to
I
be there.
I'm there.
You get some sort of at least for Twitch, like Twitch credit, or if you're a content creator, which we kind of are.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to start streaming it.
Yeah, me too. Uh, you get a bonus the longer you've been in it. So
Right.
a year from now, people will say, "Oh, Billy and Joe have been playing this game for a year now. They're still silver, but they know stuff. They know
Right.
more than another silver, than a new silver." Um, but I want to get into let's get into why is it so hard to get people to play a game you like? So this game right now it's free. It's new, and maybe last but not least, it's actually pretty fun. But it's so hard to get people to play new games, and uh, Joe's been trying to get me into WoW, which is why this comes up, and I'm just so apprehensive into getting into WoW. Uh, Supposedly, it's very fun, as Joe
Very
said.
fun.
Seems to be affordable, right?
I mean relatively, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I still am reluctant to get into WoW. So, what do you think? You got anything to say, Joe?
About WoW?
Any analysis on? Well, maybe just why is it hard to get into?
Oh.
Why is it hard
Uh
to get people into the games you play?
I mean, for me it's because I don't really whenever whenever someone's trying to get me into a game, it's because I don't like playing new games that much. Because it's like starting a new
Mm.
job. You have to learn that new job system and how everything works, and
So
you
just the
suck at it
familiarity.
for a while, right?
Mm.
And then, like, but there's also that little spark of magic that you get from playing a new game. But sometimes that little spark of magic does not outweigh the unfamiliarness, unfamiliarity
Okay.
with the game. And so I just don't really like playing new games. I especially don't like having to fucking buy a new game
Are you talking
every
about?
goddamn week.
You know what I dislike is new multiplayer games. There's very few. It feels like new multiplayer games that are worth it. Um, like Apex Legends for me. For me, I just hate I just hate all the battle royale games. I really enjoyed PUBG when it first came out, and sort of that Christmas Noobs of no one knows what the hell we're doing, and actually for PUBG also how buggy it was. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed like randomly dying to things. Um,
I don't know how you can enjoy that.
yeah, that was very fun to me because just the randomness and the new experiences, especially with Mark. Playing with Mark is a lot of fun because Mark is the weird bugs are attracted to Mark, and Mark does a very good job of clipping the weird things that come to him recently. And I have to show you a Fall Guys clip, Joe, of Mark getting absolutely destroyed by like a cranberry or something.
Okay.
uh, yeah, so that was so it's a lot of fun those new games, but I also have trouble getting into single player games. I I have a lot of trouble starting the single player games and finishing them. Because single player games, it always feels like you have to know every mechanic, and I never remember mechanics, and I of course skip the tutorials. Uh,
I never skip tutorials.
really,
They're there for a
really.
fucking reason. Why would you torture yourself not knowing how to play whenever the developers made a little fucking tutorial island to teach you how to fucking play it?
Oh my god, because it's a tutorial island. I want to do other things in my game, or especially if it's a game that's a franchise. I know how to play this game. Okay, just show me the new mechanic. That's what I
Now,
want to see. What's
now,
the
like
new mechanic? Like I
games
can
with Call
assume
of
I can
Duty,
run and
right?
like shoot. What's your new mechanic you're gonna teach me?
Now with games like Call of Duty, and any other fucking first person shooter like that, they're all the fucking same. And so I typically don't need a tutorial for that. I will just look at the like controls. I'll just go and look at the controls so I know what's what. Uh, but like whenever I started playing Valorant not too long ago,
Ugh.
I started I did the tutorial so that I could learn it because it looked a lot different than any other game that I'd played like it. It not that great of a game. Not in love with it. Haven't much played it since. But I definitely 100% did the tutorial for Knockout City.
Really? Yeah, I
Yeah,
had to. I
and
was forced to do the tutorial. I wouldn't have done it
I
if I
wasn't
didn't have
forced
to.
to.
I prefer getting wrecked by someone and saying, "What the fuck? How did he do that?" And then someone who's played the tutorial on my team said he just like pressed W. Like it was just one button, and oh,
You're just sitting there standing still, and you're like, "How the fuck is this guy walking?"
how the fuck? Why is he moving so fast? He's actually sprinting, and you haven't been sprinting this whole time. It's like, oh, of course.
That was me for a little bit yesterday.
I
Because
don't
like
sprint in that game
I
actually. To be
didn't
fair,
fully play the tutorial until after I stopped playing with you all. And so
yeah,
it
fair
doesn't
enough.
tell you how to sprint and do all that shit until after. And
Yeah,
I didn't
I did
realize
notice
that
you
there
were
were
moving. You were moving slower
yeah,
through
and I
this
didn't
course.
realize that there were multiple levels to the tutorial
Mm.
until today.
Oh, I didn't know that either. To be
Yeah,
fair,
there's
a
like
game
7 levels or something.
that I really appreciate is Ori and the Blind Forest. Okay, so have you played that game?
I I'm not good at platformers.
Oh, me
I
neither.
I'm I'm terrible at platformers. I
Same.
do like the game though. It is a very good game from what I played of it.
They do a good job of, you know, they'll let you. You have to. You get like you're supposed to explore the map, right? And in general, you need a couple different abilities to progress a different area, and you may or may not use those abilities later. And what's really nice is you can switch out some movement abilities and your combat abilities. And what they'll do is you'll get you'll fall into this place and the world is beautiful and you're very immersed, and then they'll say like you'll end up getting this thing, and then to get out from where you were, you have to use your new ability. And that's like a mini tutorial. It's just like this is the mechanic, and then you don't have to use it for the rest of the game. Usually you can just kind of make do without it. Um, but Ori and the Blind Forest, they do a really good job of that, and it's not overwhelming at all because you have to progress, and usually there's enemies along the way as you're fighting. Um, and then you learn a new movement ability, or you'll learn a new, like, you have to shoot a bow to hit this plant, and then the plant will like drop a tentacle or something, and then you use the tentacles to climb. So Ori and the Blind Forest does a really good job of sort of easing you into the game and increasing in difficulty as you go along.
Yeah, I really liked Ori and the Blind Forest, what I played of it, but like I said, I'm just so fucking bad at platformers, but it's such a smooth game,
It
and
is.
it's very well polished.
When
It is
you're
very
moving
good.
well in the game, it's really good.
Yeah, I just like whenever it's like, hey, you're done here, and I'm like, where the fuck do I go now? And it's
Yes,
like
that's
you go way over here. I'm like, how do I get there? And they're like, fucking figure it out. I'm
you
like,
just
okay,
have to
yeah,
traverse the
fair,
entire map again.
right,
You
right.
the way you came, do that but backwards.
See, I was trying to play Hollow Knight. That was one of the first games I ever streamed. One
Hmm.
of them, and that's the time whenever I was anguished alcoholic, and I would make a drinking game every fucking time I
Your
played a game.
username, right,
Right.
and your personality, of course.
Yes. And so, like for Hollow Knight, it was like every time I uh, took 3 hits, I would drink.
Oh
Or
my
every
god.
time I fell into a pit of something, I would drink. And every time I died, I would drink. And, whatever. And so I would always be sloshed every
Right.
time I'd play that on stream.
Hollow
But
Knight is a hard kind of game.
it was very hard. It was so fucking difficult. And maybe it's just because I was drunk
Right.
through parts of it, but it was like I did go back and try to continue on because I didn't beat it. I did go back and try to continue
Mm.
on from where I left off, and I could not get anywhere. And I was sober
Right.
as a bird, and could not fucking get anywhere. So I haven't picked it up since.
Do you we've had this discussion before, but I don't know if it would be good for me as a streamer to play Ori and the Blind Forest. As much as I enjoyed it, there were times I could spend like 10, 20 minutes on one level and just repeatedly die. And just, I would have nothing new to say. If I were streaming, I'd be like, fuck, god damn it. And then I die the exact same. Fuck, god damn it. For This is like 10, 20 minutes. And then, like, I don't know if I could stream these kinds of games. But you like to kind of go in blind a lot to these games,
Yeah, I do. Uh, I mean, I had a lot of friends who played Ori
right?
whenever I first started streaming. And man, I miss my old streaming friends. A lot of them have quit streaming now.
Mm.
But they would always do pretty well with their Ori streams. And it's not like just Ori brought in a bunch of people. They already had established viewers that were coming to visit them. But people always
Right.
seemed to enjoy it because they were kind of doing like what you said. They were just constantly dying and laughing about it. And whenever you laugh about it, people like it. Unless you're known as a rage streamer,
Right.
if like Tyler won,
Yes.
people go to see him rage.
Oh yeah.
He dude has a dog shit personality. Like literally the worst personality ever. But he's so fucking funny whenever he rages. People
That's
love
true.
that. And so if you're known as a rage streamer, people like it when you rage. I had a friend who was he got probably 1 to 2 viewers per stream, which is fine. He was just
Yeah, there's
starting
nothing wrong with
out, but he was constantly fucking raging. I mean, raging. And it made me so uncomfortable every time I was in there that he'd be fucking raging like that. And I knew he wasn't raging at me, but he was just like, I couldn't stand him just raging constantly. And then after a while, he would just be in such a bad mood, he would barely talk to chat. And so I think you kind of got to slowly build yourself as a rage streamer.
it.
But
Mm.
if you're just dying and you're getting kind of mad at yourself, but you're joking about it, people fucking like that.
You know what
People
I
like self-deprecating senses of humor.
you know what I would like if I could categorize myself is I would try to be try to define myself as sort of a complainer. I like to complain, and I very much so enjoy petty arguments that have no real meaning. I will argue about with some I will argue with you about whatever, um, and I will form a very strong opinion on it uh, that I don't even care about. Just to play devil's advocate with you. Uh, anything sticking out in your mind, Joe, of something I would have done like that?
Honestly, too many things. Like I can't. I
You
know that
know,
there's so many things, and I can't pinpoint just one. It's like there's a river of it, and I'm just trying to
you
reach
can't
down
get
and
it.
grab it.
Yeah, I will die on a lot of small hills.
And I mean, honestly, same. I have so many hard opinions on things that don't fucking matter. Like it's just Autumn is constantly like, babe, doesn't matter. I'm like, but it's fucking stupid.
Mhm.
And I totally get what you mean. And I usually don't argue with people. I just bitch to Autumn about it,
Right.
which I'm sure is a blast for her. But I have so many hard opinions, and they're always on things that don't fucking matter.
Uh, do you what do you think of the games? So we talk about Among Us, these deception games where people are susceptible to being pissed off.
Hmm. Yeah, very susceptible.
You dislike those games in general, no?
I no, I don't
No.
dislike them. I really liked Among Us.
Hmm.
It was really fun. I don't like the people that I played with
Oh, okay.
a lot of the time because they would get so fucking mad. Like you,
Yes.
how can you go into this fucking game? And sorry, I'm moving my chair because I'm sitting up because I'm
Okay.
already
Yeah.
heated about
Okay.
this.
The feet are off the desk. Let me do this.
Yeah,
I'll adjust my chair too.
my
Just
legs
because
were
I'm with
propped
you.
up before this.
Don't yell
Okay,
at me, but I'm ready. I'm ready to yell
so
at you.
how can
I'm
you
already
go?
disagreeing with you.
How can you go into this fucking game that you know is made to pin you against other people and pin them against you.
And you
And
take it
then,
personally.
right. And then you get fucking mad whenever these people are like, yeah, he's kind of sus. And you're like, fucking bullshit. I am not. How can you get to that level? I'm always just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm the imposter. I can't lie about this. I can't keep doing this. And then other people like one friend of mine, you know him, I'm not gonna name names, in case he ever listens to this
Why
podcast.
don't you say it and then cut it?
Okay.
Redacted. Yeah, okay.
Uh did
I
you ever
figured
play
that's
with
who you were
him?
going to say. I think we played once or twice.
So I played with him a lot. And after a while, he kind of got too easy to pin. And like to not pin, but like figure out that he was the
Right.
imposter. Because whenever he wasn't the imposter, he would get fucking furious when someone accused him. And
You had to tell, huh?
so then whenever he was the imposter, he'd be like, "No, it wasn't me. No, wasn't me." And I'm like, "Okay, you're the fucking imposter." He's like, "No, I'm not the imposter." And then I'd get everyone to vote him off. And then he's like, "How did you guys know?" And so, but like, I remember one time we were playing Among Us, and like he was off doing something, and then someone finds a body, and we go into the meeting, and then they're like, "I think it was," and he immediately
You
loses
mean
his
who
goddamn
was it?
mind.
Who was it? I mean, you said his name is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, sorry.
Because you
I'll
tried to
bleep
not
that out again.
mention. Yeah, okay. Just as a
Uh,
reminder
yeah, but
for
he
future.
immediately loses his fucking mind
Right.
and just goes bonkers. And he's like, I was over here on the other side of the map. And I was like, okay, first of all, dial it back. That's what this game is made to do.
You fucking did it
We
again.
don't know. Uh, I'm gonna bleep him out.
All
Chill,
right,
dude. I
all
gotta
right.
listen to
I'm
this
trying.
motherfucker.
All right, all right. I'm just trying to
Uh,
help you in the moment, okay?
I'm gonna
Give you
bleep all
less
these
work to
out.
do. Okay.
But they're like, I was like, okay, let's dial that back because that's what this game is meant to do. is pit people against each other. Second, there are vents that allow you to travel very quickly across the map. And he's like, but I didn't vent. I'm like, we don't know that. I literally had to start talking to him like
Did
he was a child,
he did
throwing a
to go through the
tantrum.
talking points?
Oh my god, it was so. I just stopped playing with him after a while because it was so aggravating trying to explain it to him every fucking time.
This is what makes these games so enjoyable. Is obviously you have the natural frictions of people um, getting so mad at it. See what I understand if people wouldn't want to play with me because I try to exacerbate that. I just try to do as much chaos as I can and just play as goofily as I can. Just because I am a true chaotic neutral, right? I am a force for chaos. We played this game in my Discord frequently. We would play. It's called Sneaky Hitler, and the idea is you play as you're either liberal or conservative, and you pass policies, etc., etc. I always so in theory you're supposed to assume everyone is a liberal. I always played like I was a conservative, but I always played the exact same way. I always did the opposite of whatever people thought was best. Just whatever meta we were coming up with, I would always try to subvert it, and I would always be killed first. Um, but it was just so much fun. Even if I was a liberal, I would vote conservative, just because, just to mess with everyone, just so I keep everyone honest, because that way you can kind of understand what people are saying. So for Among Us, I think I've described this before. Is um, sometimes I would just stand still and just like stack up with people, just because, just to see
Yeah,
what would happen. Even if I
same.
was the imposter, I would just stand still with you. And I've had more than a few games where I've done that, and people get really mad at me, and I enjoy it. I enjoy them being mad at me. I
You
enjoy
know,
the rage.
my favorite thing to do in Among Us was I would just play the slowest killer, the most passive killer ever, and let my teammate do everything. And then just blatantly kill someone in front of someone else. And then I try to beat them.
Self-report.
I try to beat them to the report.
Mm,
But 9 times out of 10 whenever I played so passively, and I would do that by hanging out with groups. Uh
right.
and or hang out with just an individual person because then later they're like, hey, he was with me for 20 fucking minutes and he didn't kill me. And so then I would kill someone right in front of someone else and then just go into chat and be like, they will always start out by being like, yo, Joe just killed him right in front of me. And so I let them get their whole spiel out. And then everyone's like, Joe, do you have anything to say? I'm
And
like,
I know you just go, I didn't know that didn't happen.
I'm
They're
like,
the fucking killer,
yeah,
and
I'm
vote them
like,
out.
no, it was them. They killed them. And then they're like, all right. And then they fucking vote them out because I was with people before and I didn't kill them. It's a very easy way to pin people. That was my
So
favorite thing to do.
you were talking earlier about one of the few times I might have played Among Us with this person before, and this was when I was active in the college's gaming
Yeah.
Discord,
Yeah.
and Joe and we switched names. So I was playing as Joe,
I forgot about
and Joe
that.
was playing as Billy, and especially since Joe and I don't know why, we're literally the only two people who pick white as our
Yeah.
color. We constantly go back and forth over it. And no one else picks white in this game, of course, but except for us two.
Yeah. We
And
always fight over it.
we were playing one game, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think I was the imposter,
You were.
and Joe had figured me out. And we were basically the argument was, it's the other one, and Joe would say it's Billy, and I would say it's Joe, and then they all believed Joe for whatever reason, so they voted out Billy, which was Joe, which is
I
awesome.
was like, okay, 100%. I just saw Billy vent. It's him. I fucking know it is. Vote him out. And then everyone's like, okay. And I was like, vote Billy. and then they all clicked the person with the name Billy and voted me out.
And I remember winning this game because of that.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Oh my god, it was so funny, but also like I was flabbergasted that they fucking did that.
This game was a good game.
Yeah,
You don't
it
play
was so much
First
fun.
Class Trouble with Us, which is
No.
similar, which is a similar game.
Yeah.
And in the people, and I play this with the people I know primarily from your Discord. And the thing is, your people are generally much nicer. Maybe I'll say haven't known each other for as long as the people in my Discord.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
true.
we're quicker to insult someone in my Discord, especially if we've known them. Um, but when we play First Class Trouble, it is really fun for me because um, some people get angrier than I expect. I would have guessed,
As
and
those
so
games
just
tend to do.
yes, and it's that's so much fun for me. It's just making everyone angry. Or Sammy and I have a thing where we just constantly, for no reason, attack each other. And you can kind of attack each other in First Class Trouble. You can throw champagne bottles at people, and like it'll knock you over for a really long time, like 10 seconds in game. And a game of deception and trying to pick people out. It's a long ass time to be down,
Yeah, it is.
and you can hold on to three. Yes, Joe, you raised your hand. Okay.
I'm just hitting it. Keep going.
You can throw um, you can throw these bottles and keep someone down for a really long time. And Sammy and I just constantly do that, like just for no reason. It seems we just fight with each other, and it's a lot of fun. Because Sammy, for whatever reason, Sammy gets mad because she has no street cred with randoms. Randoms always pick on Sammy, and it's a lot of fun because um, Sammy will get mad, and I'll take the side of the random more often than not, intentionally, just to just to like just to do a little bit more of just to see how Sammy would react, and it always gets angry at the random. And what's really nice, and Sammy, if you listen to this, I now know you're gonna catch on to my act, but she always complains about the random, but I always team up with the random. And like we always end up killing Sammy in some way or form, way, shape, or form. Like we'll figure out Sammy is like the imposter, or I might be the imposter, and Sammy's an innocent, but we still end up killing Sammy anyway. So I really enjoy. I really enjoy making Sammy angry, especially because Sammy is usually super nice.
Yeah,
But she does get
I
mad in
honestly
First Class
don't
Trouble.
think I've ever heard Sammy angry.
Not angry, more so frustrated with randoms because they'll just accuse her, especially since she's one of the few like girls when we play.
Right.
There's actually quite a few. When we played, there's quite a few women, but even then, they would still accuse Sammy. Like, it was still good. They'd be like, "It's Gambit. It's Gambit. Why?" And then they would say some like half-assed reason. I'm like, "Good enough for me, Sammy. It's you."
That actually that brings me to an interesting thing I've been seeing a lot on TikTok.
Okay.
So like I follow a lot of Rocket League people on TikTok.
Okay.
A lot of Rocket League people. And let's see. One, two, Athena. Maybe three of them are girls. And I only see this with chicks. Only see it with them. Mainly Athena. Do you know who Athena is?
I know Athena is the one. If you miss a flick, you say
The
it can
Athena
repeat.
flick,
That's
yeah.
what I know. That's the
If
only
it
thing
hits
I
the
know about.
crossbar.
That's the only thing
So,
I know about this person.
Athena is actually pretty good. Like, she's
Yep.
no fucking pro, but she's pretty
Okay.
good. She solo queued up to Grand Champ,
Oh yeah, that's really good.
and she's Champ 2 or something in ones.
That's really
And
good. Yeah.
so, right. And so she's pretty good. She doesn't have the best mechanics, though. And all
Really.
these little shitty fucking snot nosed platinums think that if you can't double flip reset, you shouldn't be champ.
So she
Uh,
gets a lot of hate.
she gets so much fucking hate. So I started noticing it with her. And that's also where the Athena flick came from. She's also fucking dating Rizzo. Or, yeah, dating Rizzo, who is a former pro. My favorite
Okay,
pro.
and presumably one of the best
Uh, he
pros.
was he was one of my top favorite pros just because he was so good and he's such a good personality. He makes such good content.
Okay.
Uh, so I started noticing it with Athena. And honestly, Athena got to a boiling point where she posted a TikTok where she was like, "Hey, I don't know what you all want from me. I tried leaning into the whole Athena flick and I suck thing, and it just made everything worse." And she's
Yeah.
like, and then I try to defend myself, and everyone attacks me. I don't know what you all want from me, and it's these all these shitty fucking platinums, and platinums are the worst rank because they get just above gold, and they think that they're something, and they think that they should be able to start doing flip resets and ceiling shots and all this other shit.
Right.
And that's why they're fucking in plat is because they're trying the hard shit and not basic fucking team plays.
In platinum, you can hit the ball. That's how you it would be
Right.
in
And you
Rocket
can
League.
aerial some.
Yeah, you can hit the ball kind of in the air. And
Uh
I'm myself not much better than a platinum. I would, well, you can say it, but I would say I'm probably mid to low diamond
yeah,
in
I would
general.
say you're low diamond.
Yeah,
I
I
would say
don't,
you're low diamond.
and that's just
Uh
from like playing a lot. It's not.
right,
I don't do any of the trainings.
right. And so uh and like every time she posts a clip of her doing something good, like a dope ass shot,
Mm,
like she did a ceiling shot double touch. And I was like, that was a dope ass shot. And all these platinums are like, I can do that, and I'm in platinum. And I was like, oh my god, you literally can't. If you can do that consistently in ranked matches in platinum, you wouldn't be fucking platinum.
right.
Or if you can, you're dog shit at everything else. So, two other girls I follow, I don't remember their names.
Okay.
I just started noticing the same thing with them. One of them, she started doing this TikTok thing where people are like, she's like, comment a trick you want me to do. And so people are like, flip reset, and she does a flip reset. And they're like, ceiling shot, and she does a ceiling shot. And then they start getting harder and harder, like flip reset, double tap, whatever. And so, on TikTok, the camera is inverted. So
Right.
it's backwards. And so people are like, that's not even you. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, whenever it's hitting the gas, you're hitting brake. And she's like, you fucking idiots. It's inverted. And so then
Right.
she did a TikTok where she used the invert filter and did that right. And people were like, not your clip. I can just tell it's not you. You're not that good.
Do
And
you?
someone's like, I'm in platinum and I can do that. And I was like, why are these chicks getting all this fucking hate? You can go to any of these fucking guys. I follow a guy, Rocket League TikToker, and he's like, at best, gold 2. And every fucking time I go to his comments, it's just dudes cheering him on and raising him up.
Right. Do
And I'm like,
you?
what the fuck is with all these people?
Just for context, what are the sizes of these TikToks? Are they
Uh,
small ones or?
Almost all of the ones that I follow are probably over 50,000 followers,
So decent, like that's
except
actually
for
pretty big.
maybe a couple that are like just starting out. Actually, one
Okay.
guy, he has less than 100. But he posts a lot of other shit too, so he's barely even a Rocket League TikToker. But like that, I never see them giving hate. I think it's just these like little 15-year-olds who don't know how to talk to girls yet, and they just hate girls because like some girl in their high school bullied them.
You know what I think it is a lot of those. I think there's probably comparable amounts of hate, but it's just not as visible. For whatever reason, the hate for um, female creators, I feel like it gets upvoted, or it's just way more visible, and maybe it is more frequent, which I would not be surprised if it were. But I also wonder if it's just because it's more visible, and there's almost like a you have to there's like this check where people do, and it's like, well, is this person good or is it because they're a girl? Which is like such shitty logic, but
Right.
it's also just it's just pretty rampant. It's like, is this person like here because they're good at the game, or are they here because they're a girl?
Well,
And
I
I just get jealous of that easily because they just go, well, if only like they realize they play games and they go, well, if I was a girl, I would just have as many followers as this person,
right.
and that's frequently not the case.
Right. No, it's not. It's you have a different audience. That's why I don't give a fuck about these hot tub streamers.
Right.
They're not stealing views away from me. What fucking guy who's watching a hot tub stream is going to come watch me stream? No one. No one's going to
Well,
who wants to
you
watch
know,
that's going to watch me.
you haven't done your hot tub stream yet.
That's I haven't yet. I got to get a
What?
hot tub. That's why we
That's true.
I told Autumn one of the things about a house that we have to look for and that I want
Hot
is a
tub
place to put a
space.
hot tub. And
Okay.
unironically, I
I
want a
know.
hot
I
tub,
know.
but not going to do hot tub. Well, I might later once I get it. But I also think that in the streaming community, a lot of guys really like it when girls suck at games because then they can mansplain the game to them.
Oh, that's true. It's
Uh,
true. They can backseat game.
right. And I think guys, and same as on TikTok, is whenever I see a girl, yeah, have you know that sound that's like, I know I don't look like a gamer girl, but look, and then they show a clip. Do you know
No,
that
I
sound?
don't
Okay.
know, but I
Well,
can conceive it.
it's used ironically. And so
Okay.
they're like, I know I don't look like a gamer girl, but look. And then it shows a clip of them just like fucking spraying a gun everywhere trying to kill someone. And those always blow up because these guys like knowing that these girls are shit compared to them. But as soon as a girl does well, they're like, oh, that was hacks. I can see the hacks on there. And I don't think it's at all comparable to what guys get because I think that these young insecure kids feel threatened whenever a girl is doing better than them.
So probably just because she's so good is one of the few people on my radar is Hafu, and Hafu gets a lot of the same. I remember she had some comment. So Hafu was this great Hearthstone player. Is how I came to know Hafu, and then she started playing Teamfight Tactics, which I also enjoy. So I started watching a lot of her content, and I even watched her when she would play Hearthstone as well. Um, and I think she is like the big Among Us streamer. Like she's not the Among Us streamer, which I think is
Right.
Disguised Toast, but
Yeah.
I think there's a thing like Hafu lobbies or something. I'm not sure. But she seemed to rise to prominence in Among Us as well, and she's very good at whatever she does. She like won the chess championship, and even her, she was saying stuff like she was happy when people would say they don't want to watch her content because of her, and she was like, if you don't like me for my personality and like etc., that's fine. But saying you don't like me because I'm a girl, she took real offense to, and that was something that was kind of sad to witness. Is just how she was really good and very smart, and she explained she's still a great content creator as far as I know. But it's just kind of sad that it's just an extra thing you have to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, I I I don't know if Sammy's dealt with it as much as some of my other female streaming friends. Uh but I've had female streaming friends who like get shit on by these little cunty guys who feel threatened, like I said, whenever they're good at a game. And or just because they're like, oh, you're just a titty streamer. That's why you have 12 viewers. I'm like, okay, 12 viewers is not like it's pretty good. Be very
It
proud of
is.
yourself
It
if you get
is.
up to 12 viewers. But also, like, I don't think 12 viewers is reason enough to say titty streamer. But also, like, who doesn't prefer to watch a fucking girl stream over a guy? Guys are fucking gross most of the time.
Well, it just depends on what you're looking for in the moment, and
Right. And that's
all you
that's
need
very
is a
true.
moment to
In the
capture a
moment.
viewer.
Right. Uh and sometimes in the moment I'm like, you know what? I want to find a bro to hang out with. And then other times I'm
Okay,
like, I want something not ugly to look at in a
and you
stream.
come to my stream
And
to
well,
listen to.
yeah, you have a very ASMR esque stream.
I'm very uh, surprised by that, and I'm very pleased because you had a former boss uh,
Hmm.
say I have a podcaster's voice, and
Yes,
I've
he did
I've
say
been
that.
very nice. It's nice to hear, and I like to hear these compliments. So keep them coming, people. But also, I'm glad it's not a podcaster's face. That's what I prefer. I prefer not to hear. So let's wrap it up. Let's wrap up
Okay.
pretty soon. I
You
have a
want to do
question
hot
for you.
takes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So not necessarily a hot take, but right now, who or what are you like watching on YouTube? Are you sort of on a what's
That is a
what's your
good
what's on your
question.
YouTube? What's on your
I
recommended?
just started watching a lot of Cody Ko's videos
Okay. And you've been a big
because
fan for a while.
I've been a big fan of Tiny Meat Gang for a while. I
Without
love Tiny Meat
knowing
Gang. I
Cody
did
Co was in that.
right. I didn't know Cody Ko was a part of that. Funny
It
enough,
was, his beat was, it's titular.
I was
It's
following Cody Ko on TikTok and I was listening to Tiny Meat Gang and I did not make the connection
say, wow, this is
because
familiar.
my friend Alex recommended Tiny Meat Gang to me,
Hmm.
and so I started listening to them, loved them, and I was also watching Cody Ko. And so once I pieced that together, I started watching some of Cody Ko's YouTube videos, and I even got Autumn watching some of them with me, and she really likes it too,
Mm,
especially when Cody Ko and Noel, who are the Tiny Meat Gang, do their videos together. So fucking
right.
funny.
He
Uh,
has great hair.
and
That's
he
one
does
thing I
have great
noticed.
hair. He has fantastic hair.
Fantastic hair.
Uh, and I also didn't know that they make fucking music.
This is something I've heard of, but I never listened to their music.
Dude, okay, I don't know what kind of music you like. I'm kind of all over the place. I like a little bit of everything. Uh, and like their music, dude, just bars.
It's good.
Just bars, dude. It's so fucking
Oh,
good. Noel has such a deep, gravelly
he
voice.
does.
And then Cody has a much like I don't want to say higher pitched, but higher than Noel's, and it's such a good balance in their songs, and it's so fucking good. I
Do they
love their
do
music.
the one is the um what is it? One is the rapper, and then the other is the one that sings the chorus.
In their, I think they did that more in their older songs, but I've noticed Cody rapping a lot more in the newer songs.
Mm. Okay,
Yeah,
that's actually not what I would have expected. I would have
yeah,
thought it'd
but
be the other way
Cody
around.
Cody often did a lot of the hooks in their
Mm.
older songs.
That's what I would have guessed.
And then
Yeah.
like short verses, and then Noel is like the main rapper. I still think Noel's kind of the main rapper,
Hmm.
but they both switch on and off, and they're so fucking good. So, what about you? What are you watching on YouTube right now?
I've been into a lot of history videos recently,
Really,
especially yes, especially about
George Washington?
yes, which is one of the topics I had written down, but for another time.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is just a gaming episode.
yeah, I've been watching a lot of, especially about presidents. I've been watching a lot about presidential history, and
Can you name
that's
all
what
the
I've been
presidents
doing.
in order?
George Washington, John
Hmm.
Adams,
Okay.
TJ, our man TJ,
Okay.
James Madison, Monroe, and then John Adams Jr. And
Hmm.
then it gets dicey. Then I have no fucking clue who
Let's
number
see. I
8
can't
is.
verify any of those that you just mentioned except for George Washington.
Well, I can go backwards from so Biden, Trump, um,
Obama.
thank you,
I knew
Biden,
that
Trump,
one.
Obama, Bush,
Yep.
Bush the lesser, Clinton, the male, Bush Senior, Reagan, and before Reagan was Jimmy Carter. Then before him was
Nixon.
Ford, and then before
Before
Ford
that was
was not a
Nixon.
crook,
Yeah.
and then before Nixon was Johnson, and then Kennedy, and then before Kennedy was Ike. Shout out Ike, and then Truman, FDR, and then Hoover. It's like Hoover, Coolidge. This is where I'm not so sure. Hoover, Coolidge, um,
I'm impressed you can get that far.
Wilson, maybe Wilson. Wilson is there, and then I think before Wilson is Roosevelt, and then before Roosevelt is McKinley. It's not bad, eh? Huh?
Not bad at all,
Check that
actually.
out.
Way better than I could have done.
And then I know Abe is 16, and then after is oh fuck, is Andrew Johnson, and then I think after Johnson is Ulysses, which is a fabulous name.
It is a good name,
But we
actually.
are ending the episode, and
Yeah.
thank you for listening.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening. Much appreciated. Haven't heard any feedback from the last episode, so no thank yous going out there.
None,
Uh,
zero thank yous.
And if you're trying to catch any more content from Billy or myself, our socials are in the show description. So thank you for listening.
Bye.